Experience. The short answer to why I'm not a feminist and why I don't call myself a feminist is experience. A decade of experience of talking to feminists and debating feminists is the reason why I'm not a feminist. Now, I do support equality for women, and there's many feminists that I do agree with. But too many times when I've had conversations with feminists, they said, well, how come you're a men's rights activist? Why not just be a feminist and join us? But then we'd proceed to talk about men's issues, and they would prove my point that we need a men's rights movement and feminism is not enough by either not understanding men's issues, not even knowing what some men issues are, denying the existence of a particular issue, or just not caring enough about it. And I'm not saying that it's up to women to solve men's problems. So I'm not like saying, well, you don't care enough, well, you should. It's fine if a female movement, a women's movement, feminism wants to focus on women's issues, right? Female issues. That's fine. What I'm saying is then you don't ask me why am I a men's rights activist because as a male, okay, I have issues that I don't feel feminists do enough to address. So let us have our own movement. So when feminists ask me why does the men's rights movement exist, why not just be a feminist, and then proceed to do something like question me why is circumcision such a big deal? Because a lot of men feel that they were mutilated. And then I will give feminists credit. A lot of feminists do agree with me on circumcision when it comes to this. But I also have some very frustrating conversations where it becomes about comparing it to FGM or it's not a big deal or it's the parent's choice. And it's like, MRAs aren't trying to have that conversation. We're not trying to say what it compares to. We're not trying to say it's as bad as anything else. We're just saying, look, okay, we know FGM exists, but you don't walk through the ICU saying, oh, well, that person had their foot cut off and that person had their leg cut off. Having your leg cut off is worse, so just ignore the guy without the foot. It makes no sense. All we're saying is circumcision is an important issue to a lot of guys, and we want to talk about it. And again, I'll give a lot of feminists credit, they recognize that. And that's just one example. The boys' education gap, male homelessness, conscription, higher male pension ages. The life expectancy gap is something that neither feminists nor many MRAs pay much attention to. There's just a whole bevy of issues that MRAs want to talk about that we don't feel feminists give enough attention to or space for or respect for. And as a women's movement, that's okay, that's not on them. But then don't tell us that we should be feminists and not a men's rights activists, because there is clearly a need for the men's rights movement to exist. And that's kind of where we're coming from. Anyway, this video is just kind of an intro. I have another video kind of about this topic once my laptop gets set up. So this is kind of like a preview to that. And you might wonder, well, why don't I just redo that video now? I kind of like trying to do everything in one take as much as possible. It doesn't always happen, but I do try as much as possible to get done in one take. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of that. There's a certain energy to a first take, I find.